Alright, it's time for a call for an uprising. A call for an uprising, of course, has more takes on the coof. So let's take a look.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. You're going to want to see this. There are two things I want to point out here. And of course, I am not in any way, shape, or form questioning the CDC or their rules. I'm just showing you what's
Whatever you say, Call.
What's going on in the world. And you can form an opinion as an adult on how you feel about it. But some of these things are going to frighten you.
Call, let's be clear here. Only one of us is an adult, and it's the one surprisingly wearing devil horns, because I recognize that everything isn't a conspiracy.
Because soon it'll be coming to America. And the fact that human beings are allowing this to happen because of Big Brother, well, all you can do is shake your head. They want you to stay in your cell, and if you leave your cell and you
I do find it funny, by the way, that a call for an uprising pretends to be this big bad rebel. I'm a call for an uprising. Ooh, I'm gonna stick it to authority, and I'm gonna tell it how it really is. But at the same time, he's like, YouTube, Daddy YouTube, please don't take away my channel. I swear I'm not questioning the CDC. What a bitch.
Disobey, you will be punished. Remember, they're letting people out of prisons here in America because they're worried the prisoners might catch some of the outbreak.
Yeah, it's a concern. In prisons, there have been huge outbreaks of COVID in certain places because they're in close quarters with each other and they're locked up together.
So they're letting them out to free up space in there. But if you're one of these people who violates your quarantine rules, well, you're going to end up in there.
I mean, in America, we haven't done that yet, but yeah, other countries have done a thing where if you don't follow COVID restrictions, you get locked up as a matter of public health for weeks or even months. Which is so funny to me that so many Americans are like, oh, these restrictions are so tyrannical. They're so tyrannical. And yet, we have some of the laxest restrictions in the world. It's almost like they're just big whiny babies. Weird how that works, huh?
So
I'm actually doing better with the voice tone when it's not on screen. I'm doing okay. I think I just get really self-conscious, and I don't like staring at it constantly. I don't know.
Before I show you this video clip, a reminder, check out the website at callforuprising.com. Make sure you become a member. Again, if you're somebody who has their own YouTube channel, you can share your information, your videos there. You can interact, learn with others, teach others, fellowship with other people if you want to talk about your faith and things, you know, that you wonder about or need help understanding in the Bible. You want to talk about Project Bluebeam, you want to talk about Freemason, all that stuff. It's all on there. The forums are great. They're loaded.
One day I'll get us on that website and we'll take a look at what he actually has to say when he's not beholden to like YouTube's basic standards of not lying. That's not even really the standard, but one day we'll take a look at his thing and we'll take a look.
Loaded with comments and loaded with great information. You could spend days just in the forums alone. I post videos there as well, so check it out if you haven't, all right? Now, get ready for this. This is in the UK. Notice that they are giving people maximum of 10 years in prison if they break the protocol of being quarantined. In other words, if they come in, which you'll hear from a hotspot, a country that is listed as a hotspot, and they lie about it, that's up to 10 years in prison. And on top of that, get this. When you come in from one of these states, you have to quarantine.
Yeah, because you are a public health risk. If you go out and you don't quarantine after you come in from another country, you could be killing people. You could be killing people.
But it's not on their dime. It's on your dime. And they're talking about spending $3,000 of your own money to quarantine for 10 days. And it is mandated.
Yeah. It's mandated. I know, for instance, Canada, I don't know what the UK's situation is. Canada has been setting up and renting out basically hotel rooms. So if you come in from another country, they'll set you up in a hotel room or whatever. And I think that's the appropriate way to do it. But, like, you could also just quarantine in your house. That's a thing you can do.
Yeah, get a load of this.
For a year, it's resisted it. Now the British government says it's turned to Australia for advice as it scrambles to introduce hotel quarantine.
We're setting up a new system of hotel quarantine for UK and Irish residents who've been...
Princess Amelia says we're doing that in the UK too, so the UK is footing the bill for these rooms. That's fine. That's perfectly great.
...in red list countries in the last 10 days.
From Monday, Brits returning from hotspots, mainly in South Africa and South America, will have to pay almost $3,000 to stay for 10 days in a quarantine hotel.
Anyone who lies on the passenger locator form and tries to conceal that they've been in a country on the red list in the 10 days before arrival here will face a prison sentence of up to 10 years.
Only 16...
The traveler has to pay? Well, then they probably shouldn't travel during a global pandemic, should they? And if you're traveling on business, then your business will pay for that, the business that you're working for. It's pretty simple.
Hotels with 4,600 beds have so far been earmarked for use. Hoteliers say it should have come sooner.
With the benefit of hindsight, you've got to look at what's happened in other countries that have shut their borders earlier, and they've had a lot more success, and their economies are much better as well.
By the time hotel quarantine is enforced in the UK, 50 days will have passed since the South African variant was first identified in Britain. The toughened border rules will also only apply to a limited number of countries, and critics say it's too little, too late. Scotland has gone further. All international arrivals there will be forced into hotels.
All international travellers, with some limited exceptions, should meet the requirement to isolate in managed facilities.
The UK's tourism industry is already taking bookings for the post-lockdown summer and is worried.
We just don't know where we're going to be over the next few months. It's just rapidly changing. But what we do know is there's just a huge amount of pent-up demand for people to go away this summer.
So, I don't know. I mean, are they staying at the Ritz-Carlton? You know, you think about it, 10 days, $3,000. I mean, you're talking in excess of $300 a day.
That's pretty... I mean, it depends on the hotel, obviously, but I've stayed in a hotel that's $200 a night. I haven't done $300, but that's also in Michigan, and it was during winter, so the rates were lower. I stayed at the Great Wolf Lodge here in Michigan. I don't remember exactly the price of the room, but it was up there. I mean, it just depends on the hotel, I guess. It's certainly not motel prices, I'll give you that.
Somewhere around there. I mean, maybe $250 to $300 a day. I mean, that's, yeah, somewhere around the lines of $300. I mean, that's a pretty nice hotel. I mean, maybe they're getting spa facial treatment as well as while they're in there, or, you know, because it's not the Red Roof Inn. No offense to the Red Roof Inn. You know, or the Motel 6. We'll turn the light off.
If you've ever had...
Oh, Kitty. God damn it. She restarted the video. Since we're doing this anyway and the video restarted, I'll fix it in a sec. Let's take a look at hotel room rates, okay? Kitty, gosh darn. Really? Hotel prices are probably actually down right now, specifically because of COVID, so fewer people are staying in hotels, but the specific hotels that are getting booked by the government might have higher prices because they're now in demand for that purpose, so I'm actually not sure. I know, Kitty. I know. In my city, they're going to be really, really cheap. Because my city sucks. Day use hotels. In case you want to sleep with your secretary, I guess. Hotel room rates. UK. Let's go to the UK since that's what's being discussed anyway. Ooh, this one's only $6. It's a quaint pub with classic rooms. I don't know where they're getting their number from, but like these ones look like $90 a night, $82 a night. This one's only $6 a night. It's probably not approved though. This one's 40, this one's 20, 28, 40, 32, 70, 39. This one's 531, but that's at the Ritz, London. 89, 76. Like a lot of these are much more reasonably priced. So I'm assuming that they were looking on like the upper end of approved hotels or something. Because even this one, Plaza Park, Westminster Bridge, London, is only $139 a night. So I find the rates that they're quoting to be a bit questionable based on what I'm seeing here, but, you know, whatever. Let's see where we were in the video.
Have to have the jabberoo to go travel. Now they made it, unless you want to see the cockroaches in the beds there, but they are making people do this. And now there's scary things about going to these other places because remember, they're talking about, you know, now they made it in America where if you come in internationally, you have to be quarantined. You have to be.
Yeah. America's handling, we're doing better now, but we're still handling this shit very badly. That'll happen when you mishandle a global pandemic, huh? Funny how that works. Well, 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 if it isn't the consequences of my government's actions.
You have to be tested. And soon, you know, obviously everyone's going to have the jabberoo to go travel everywhere, anywhere.
It bugs me so much that he says jabberoo instead of vaccine. Again, because he's a coward who knows that his opinions are shitty and that he'll get banned from YouTube for his anti-vax bullshit.
That's what's next, and that is what is to come. But even this story is enough. I mean, this should scare anyone. This poor girl that goes to another country, and you might say, oh, it's a fake news story to scare people. Maybe so. But, you know, it shouldn't surprise you that the governments are doing this around the world where she left her quarantine and she had to spend 30-something, 40-something days in jail.
Then don't leave your quarantine. Like, imagine this in any other context. Be like, did you see that guy he broke into someone's house and stole a TV? And now he's in jail. Like, yeah, don't break the law, dipshit.
For breaking her quarantine to go outside and watch her boyfriend jet ski? Huh?
Why the fuck is her boyfriend jet skiing? Why are you people doing this?
Tyler Mack, the
Bye,
18-year-old sentenced to 2 months behind bars in the Cayman Islands for breaking quarantine rules, is out of prison and...
It's not even it was in the Caymans! It wasn't even in the UK!
back on American soil.
Skylar, how do you feel to be back in the U.S.?
Very excited. Yeah.
Mack traveled to the Caribbean island November.
I'm guessing this is what it is, Daddy Sume, but I'll take it. Oh, no, it's not. Okay.
Stop breaking the law, asshole!
I could have sworn that was going to be your once-a-year Rickroll.
27th, and per island rules, was required to quarantine for 14 days. But after 2 days in isolation, Skylar removed her wrist monitor, breaching quarantine to watch her boyfriend, a professional jet skier, compete in a race.
I went to another country and broke the law and endangered public health, and they put me in jail for a month or two. Shut up. Shut up, you idiot. I wish you were in jail for longer. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Seen in this video posted by event organizers. Both Mack and her boyfriend, 24-year-old Vanjay Ramgeet, who was charged with aiding and abetting, were detained and initially ordered to pay a fine and serve 40 hours of community service. But after a legal back and forth, the couple was sentenced to 2 months in prison.
AKA, they were going to give him a slap on the wrist, and then they were big pieces of shit about it, and they went, all right, jail. Fuck these guys. I'm glad they went to jail.
Ultimately serving 32 days behind bars.
Oh, I had to spend a month in jail after I endangered the health of others to go watch my boyfriend jet ski.
Got the first call, I think, that said she was in trouble, and her boyfriend called while the
authorities were talking to her, and all he could, you could probably hear him, he kept saying, please don't be mad with her, please don't be mad with her. And I'm like, but she knows better.
Now her grandmother speaking for the first time since the teen returned home a free woman.
It's the biggest relief. I finally slept through the night, and it's kind of hard to fall asleep when someone you love so much, you know that they're not sleeping and that they're uncomfortable. And I knew she's a tough girl, but she had to be scared.
Her family certainly relieved that she is back home safe, and Skylar couldn't stop smiling when I asked her how she feels about being back home. We spoke with her about that day that has certainly changed her life, and one thing Skylar and her grandmother made clear, Skylar made the decision to breach quarantine, and Skylar needed to face the consequences.
I mean, this stuff is unbelievable. And what do we do because of the fluoride? Because we're so dumbed down, we just go, they have to, these rules are needed, these laws are needed. Then we have another story. This one just came out today. Man pleads guilty to breaking quarantine to meet up with his fiance. A British man pled guilty on Monday to breaking Singapore's strict rules by sneaking out.
Goddamn, white people going to other countries and then getting mad when there are consequences when they break the law. Like, did you think their laws didn't apply to you? That's not how this works. You go to a country, you obey their laws.
Out of his hotel room to meet his fiance while he was undergoing his 2-week mandatory quarantine. I mean, the 52-year-old faces 6 months in prison for leaving his room 3 times on the 21st of September.
Wow, he really shouldn't have broken the law in a country he didn't live in, huh?
You gotta be joking me. 6 months?
Like, it wouldn't even if I thought this was unjust, which I don't, by the way, there have been stories about this, for instance. People going to, like, North Korea and breaking a certain law. There was a tourist in North Korea once that they were in their hotel, and they went to a floor of the hotel that they weren't supposed to, and they took a propaganda poster and wanted to secretly take it and take it home as a souvenir. They were caught, they were tried, and bad things happened to them. Do I think that's right? Absolutely not. But also, you went to North Korea and broke the law. What did you think was gonna happen? I don't feel bad for these people. These aren't even unreasonable laws. They're public health laws.
I'm pretty sure that there are, we need to come up with a code word for the, what's that go after the kids. We need to come up with a code word on here because I can't think of one. Everything is, I've tried, that's been, other people have used it as well. They get hit, but you know what I'm talking about. I don't even think they get a slap on the wrist. 6 months, but yep. He wanted to go see his girlfriend, but his fiance, 6 months. He he pled guilty to not wearing a mask, which is required in Singapore. The city-state requires most arrivals to undergo 14 days of government-designated hotels, staying in a government-designated hotel. He was twice loitering along the corridor and went to her room 13 floors higher by using a stairwell through an emergency exit door, which she had opened for him, according to the charges. This is a classic tale of two lovers wanting to be together and trying to be as close as possible to each other, but breaching the law. It almost reminds you of in 1984, the two that go out into the woods.
Them wanting me not to spread disease in a foreign country is like 1984. I don't believe a call for an uprising has read a book in his entire life, much less read Orwell. God damn.
Right, so they can be together and make whoopee, but have human interaction with each other, because it's not allowed in 1984. It's not allowed in that totalitarian dictatorship, which is what's becoming this world. So you're saying sentencing is expected to take place. Quarantine violations.
Have they heard of phone sex? Just putting that out there.
Carry a penalty, get this, of a fine of up to £10,000, which is $7,565 in America, or up to 6 months in jail, or in some cases, both. I think that's even more than like a Dewey. I mean,
I don't know what that means.
It's a lot of dough for not wearing your mask and leaving your quarantine. But I'm showing you this because this is what's happening around the world. You don't see this on the mainstream news because the mainstream news narrative continues to be...
You literally showed footage from news networks about these stories. What are you talking about?
Divide everyone by politics and to shame everyone, to mask shame everyone, while they're not wearing masks on TV, by the way. These news anchors, aren't they in a room with other people? They tell us to wear two, then they tell us to wear them at home. They tell us to wear it on the toilet. And they're in a room with a cameraman, a cue card person, producers. What do you think? It's just them in a room? Like, you know, you do on Skype. They're Skyping you on the news. There's makeup people. They're not wearing it. And then they mask shame you. It's an absolute joke what is happening in this
Wear a mask, a call for an uprising, you piece of fucking shit.
world. But again, we're not questioning the CDC. They all have our best interest in hand. We know that. We know that. They care about us. They love us. They want to protect us. And I agree. So make sure you continue to follow the rules and the regulations, or this is what can end up happening. You don't be bad, or I'll slap you on the wrist. And if you're bad, remember, there's always somebody right around the corner who's going to tattle on you. Most likely the liberal classified people will tattle and report you like they do on YouTube for videos like this. But they can't, because I am not questioning the CDC and I'm not against them.
Does he think espousing anti-vax stuff and then just saying he doesn't question the CDC is tricking anyone? Wear a mask. God damn. It takes no effort.
I am just showing you and saying, hey, make sure you don't violate any of these rules, because that could be you. Again, a reminder, check out the website at callforuprising.com. I want to thank everyone who's a Patreon. You guys keep me going here on YouTube, so if you're not a Patreon, and you prefer watching me here on YouTube and you don't want to join the website, please consider becoming a Patreon if you can. Reminder, check out the Teespring store as well if you haven't. All the proceeds there go to support.
Beetle Guy, whose name I'm not going to repeat entirely. Are you a fan of a call for an uprising? I'm just curious. If so, do you want to come on and talk about it?
Supporting the channel as well, and obviously help raise awareness to the blind out there. If they see you wearing a shirt out there, it helps maybe lead them to this channel, because there's no other way to market this channel because it's shadow banned like most truther channels are. So thank you guys again for your support. God bless all of you and your families.
I'm just trying to learn. I don't know much about uprisings. So you've never seen a call for an uprisings channel? Are you like an anti-masker? Do you want to come on and talk about it? Because we can. So that's a call for an uprising for today. Conspiratorial and ridiculous as always. What a shock.